All set?
Yeah, I did something wrong, as usual.
All right. It is 6 o'clock. I call this meeting to order. Mike, would you join us?
Yes, ma'am.
Questions?
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first order of business is to approve minutes of previous meetings, and these include those that which we were unable to approve at our last meeting because those present weren't present at that meeting. So we are starting with the December 27, 2011 work session.
I move we approve those as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Ray, seconded by Mike. All those in favor? Aye.
Abstain.
Opposed? Abstain? Those minutes are approved. Moving on to the minutes of the December 27, 2011 Select Board meeting.
Again, I'll move that we approve those as presented.
Second.
Been moved by Ray, seconded by Mike. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Abstain.
Those minutes are approved. Moving on to the January 9, 2012 work session minutes.
We approve the work session minutes of January 9 as written.
Since I'm the seconder tonight, I'll second it.
All right, it's been moved by Charlie and seconded by Mike. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
I abstain.
Those minutes are approved. Next, we have the January 9, 2012 regular Select Board meeting minutes.
Well, I'll move to approve those.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Mike, seconded by Charlie. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
I will abstain.
Next, we have the January 9, 2012 non-public minutes.
We approve the non-public minutes for January 9 as written.
Second.
I'll make one recommendation for approval. My name should be struck from members present.
All right, it's been moved by Charlie, seconded by Mike, with an amendment by Ray. All those in favor of these minutes as amended? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Those minutes are approved. And finally, we have the January 17, 2012 budget work session minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Right, and I noted earlier that there was one correction to those, and that was to add that Executive Assistant Catherine Biesiegel was here for Town Administrator Paul Freitas.
I'll second the motion to approve as amended.
It's been moved by Dick, seconded and amended by Ray. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Those minutes are approved. Moving on to announcements. Today, the Plymouth Police Department helped in securing a meth lab that was located in Plymouth. The Highway Department also assisted in ensuring that the roads in the area were safely plowed and sanded, and hazmat teams were brought in to secure the structure, which is dangerously contaminated. DEA has the lead in this case, and the Grafton County Sheriff's Department and State Police also assisted in this matter. The Select Board will meet on the following dates. Regular meetings at 6 p.m. on February 13, 2012 and February 27, 2012. Work review sessions prior to the regular meetings will start at 5 p.m. The town budget hearing will be held on Thursday, February 2, 2012 at 6 p.m. A second budget hearing, if needed, will be held on Thursday, February 9, 2012, at 6 p.m. Petitioned warrant articles will be read at the February 9, 2012 public hearing. All of the above meetings will be held in the town hall unless otherwise posted. Weather observations for the month of December are available in the town hall. We still need a citizen to volunteer to represent Plymouth at the Genesis Behavioral Health Board of Directors meetings. Citizens wishing to be listed on the Selectmen's agenda should notify the Town Hall before 12 p.m. on the Friday before the scheduled meeting. And a final announcement, this coming Thursday, January 26, from noon to 2, Thomas Lindsay, who is the Executive Director of the Community Environmental Legal Defense Fund, or CELDF, will be at the Pease Public Library to answer questions regarding the CELDF, as well as questions concerning the, quote, right to a sustainable energy future and community self-government ordinance, end quote, which will be presented as a petitioned warrant article at town meeting this coming March. This meeting is open to the public, and the announcement we received concerning it indicated that a light lunch will be provided at a nominal fee. So anyone interested in that, that warrant article is encouraged to attend. Chairman's comments. We have finalized our reviews of the budget, and draft copies of the fiscal year 12-13 budget will be available after 10 a.m. on Wednesday, January 25th, 2012 at the Town Hall. A final comment. I think many people are familiar with the Children's Hospital at Dartmouth Battle of the Badges Hockey Championship between New Hampshire Police and Fire Departments. And this year we have 3 of Plymouth's finest participating in that tournament. Anyone who's interested in supporting their efforts in raising funds for the Children's Hospital at Dartmouth can log on to chadhockey.org and look up Police Department Sergeant Derek Newcomb or Officer Kevin Kelly, and also firefighter EMT Jeremy Bonin, who are all skating in that championship. All right, updates and recommendations. I'm just going to do a switch here since Mike Currier has another obligation this evening, and ask that Mike do his report on the nonprofit committee. Come on up, Mike.
Right here. This year, as last year, we had a number of agencies apply. We actually had one more this year, the 13th being Mid-State Health Center. Based upon what the entire town is trying to do, which is to level fund, we followed the same suit. Therefore, we needed to base everything on last year's numbers in terms of what people requested and what they were given last year. And in order to accommodate a couple of exceptions we needed to make, we came to a formula, taking the previous number from last year and multiplying it times 0.86, which allowed us to bring in the numbers at $75,000, which was handed out last year to a nonprofit. So we stayed level funded in this venture. We went across the board with the same numbers to keep it fair. And I've spoken with each and every person who's made their applications and explained the situation. They all want to express their gratefulness to the town and to the board for the monies they're going to receive, and they understand completely, as every single one of us has been affected by the state of affairs in the country economically. So do you want me to go down through the list and just the final number that was given to each one of them? Mm-hmm. Number 1 was the American Red Cross. They're receiving $800. Katie, or Caddy, the Communities for Alcohol and Drug-Free Youth, is receiving $6,000. Genesis Behavioral Health, Plymouth office, is receiving $7,500. The Grafton County Senior Citizens Council, $15,000. Penny Baker Home Health and Hospice is receiving $15,000. The Penny Bridge House is receiving $10,000. Penny Youth Center is receiving $3,000. Plymouth Regional Chamber of Commerce is receiving $2,600. The Plymouth Regional Clinic is receiving $1,700. Tri-County Community Action, or Tri-County CAP, is receiving $4,300. Voices Against Violence is receiving $4,000. The CASA, Court Appointed Special Advocates for Children, is receiving $800. And Midstate Health Clinic is receiving $4,300. And that totals $75,000, which is in line with last year. We were able to stay level funded as all the other folks have been required to do in the town for the taxpayers.
And I'd just like to thank the nonprofit committee because, you know, you did a super job of reviewing all of the applications, and I know that you definitely took into consideration, you know, what the town gets back from these agencies in making your recommendations, so we really appreciate that.
And in looking at that, you know, we of course want to look at how many Plymouth people are represented and how that number, the dollar per person, comes in. And we use that kind of a base to determine, does this seem in line or not when these applications and recommendations and requests are brought in. So we tie it very much to what they do for the people of Plymouth and how reasonable we feel the breakdown of dollars and cents per person is. So they certainly, each of these organizations are great in and of themselves, and they give us their money's worth. So I think we're lucky to have them, and they're certainly lucky to have the town of Plymouth.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have John Ranlett with the Budget Committee report.
John?
Is everybody tonight?
Fine, how are you, John?
We really don't. We met in a work session and we went over a lot of the recommendations at that time. I just want to say publicly the town staff and the department heads did a great job. I think we ended up meeting with 3 different department heads, and they continued to work and cooperate and do the best they could to do level funding this year. And I think they should all be commended for it. Again, we don't have anything else that we're looking at or that we've been requested to look at at this time. So unless the select board has anything else they need looked at, pretty well consider our work done for this year.
Well, and thank you very much again for everything that you did. I know it was a very thorough review of the whole budget and looking for every nickel that could be cut, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We have no updates on the safety building. Under personnel, we have acceptance of a letter of resignation from Police Officer Alexander Tucker. And this is actually not a letter, but a personnel action form indicating that Alexander Tucker has resigned from the police force. And do I have a motion to accept Police Officer Tucker's resignation? Or is there any discussion about this?
I would make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
All right, it's been moved by Mike and seconded by Ray. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Alexander Tucker's resignation is accepted. Next, we have a recommendation of the hiring of Corey Pierce to a full-time dispatch position. Corey Pierce has been a part-time dispatcher and was hired in September of 2011. Paul, do you have any additional information on that? We'll recall that we did lose an individual from dispatch within the last couple of months, so this replacement to full-time, I'm assuming, is to replace that person?
Yes.
So is there a motion to hire Corey Pierce as a full-time dispatcher with an hourly pay rate of $16 an hour, which will go up to $17 an hour when field training is completed?
I would make that motion.
Second?
It's been moved by Mike, seconded by Dick. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That is, hiring is approved. Pass that through. Next, we have, under purchase orders, Peter Furmanek. Peter is not here. Paul, can you speak to that?
They're outside seeing the roads right now. It's just part of his bid that he's received from the states. That's supply. Just replace the salt that we use.
And we have in our folders this purchase order for a total of $6,165.06. I'd like to just express that the work that the Highway Department has done on salting the roads has been exceptional, especially today. I was getting ice on my windshield and the roads were perfect.
We are going to run salt this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a good day to be approving this purchase order. I guess.
Yeah. Ray?
A question of a general nature, excuse me, knowing that this is a reoccurring expense that occurs from year to year, is there a practice in place to periodically take a look at who we are using as vendors for these reoccurring expenses to ensure that every so often we are indeed casting a net to see if we're getting the best price?
Peter came before you with the bids at the beginning of the year.
Thank you. That answers that question. Yeah, with that in mind, I move that we approve the invoice as presented.
Second?
It's been moved by Ray, seconded by Charlie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved.
I'll get it.
Okay. And next we have under new business, Brian Murphy.
In regards to the police incident of today, it was recommended by the Drug Enforcement Administration that we condemn the property where it occurred. I've included the paperwork to you in your packets, and I request that you approve that as a board to public health.
And what we have in the packets is an order to raise or remove hazardous building pursuant to New Hampshire RSA 155-B. And it goes into some detail, but basically orders the property owners to comply with the order. This requires approval by vote. So do I have a motion to approve this?
Having a draft of that in front of me, I move that we approve that as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Ray, seconded by Charlie. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved.
Please don't feel started because they want to do signature on the whole document.
That's all right.
Well, we'll make a couple more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have no other business or unfinished business. Is there any public comment this evening? Mr. Wood?
What if he's not guilty?
Well, the structure is still contaminated. We had the people from DEA came in, and Brian, you can explain their qualifications.
Yeah, they're very, very familiar with this type of operation. Any of the chemicals that are used in the manufacture of meth are either environmentally toxic or personally toxic. Because it's such an enclosed space, they recommend that the structure be destroyed. Adjacent to a
Not hazardous to anybody else, right?
It's,
no, there's no public danger from it, unless someone goes inside, and that's why that's what it is.
The other thing I have is on the salt, 6,000, I can't really see it, but I see the 6 on the end. Why aren't we doing something about, when you send the bill to the town of Plymouth, make it even money like the co-op does? Think of the time it will save the secretaries and everything else, and you get 10 cents or 16 cents or 75 cents on the end of a bill, round it off to the nearest dollar, and make it everybody happy.
well,
It's done by a scale ticket, John. We pay
Yeah, Paul.
It's done by a scale ticket, John. If I turn to you, but they'll say they didn't hear and told you. It's a way master license thing, there's other things that come into play.
In addition to a salt mine, they probably own a copper
You
mine.
got to pick up your paper there, now don't get on me.
What's the location of this meth lab? Is it on the street or?
no, it's not in the village. Our police chief and the DEA folks we've been asked to not, it'll probably end up on the news tonight, but we've been asked not to announce it. But it's, again, it's not in the village, it's not in a neighborhood, it's not in a place where it poses a danger to anyone unless someone goes looking for it and tries to get inside.
Has anybody looked up the cost of the last parade with the centennial or whatever it is, just to get a sort of an idea of how much they spent, and then you can find out how much we...
You know, I think that was long enough. That's probably not the best basis for comparison. I know that,
Yes, it is.
well, I know that our, just our regular Memorial Day parade costs well over $2,000, and the Christmas parade that the Rotary funds costs significantly more than that. So we know it's going to be a pretty big ticket item. And some of the other towns in the area who have put on celebrations like this have spent in the tens of thousands of dollars. So we need to do some thinking about it. But that's a lot of that's going to depend on what the public input is about what kind of a celebration they want to do, and what the committee, which is starting to come together with some volunteers, recommends that we do.
Don't forget the time capsule.
We won't forget the time capsule, Mr. Wood. Thank you. Any other public comment? All right. With that, I would request a motion to go into a non-public session in accordance with RSA 91-A:3, 2, A through C.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Dick and seconded by Mike. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 We are now in non-public.